Hello, my wonderful, amazing artists. It's me, Miss Abby, your art teacher. And today, we are going to make cityscapes inspired by the artist Romer Bearton. Romer Bearton was an artist who was making art from the Harlem Renaissance era. He was an African-American artist inspired by his neighborhood that he was living in, New York City's Harlem neighborhood, where something really interesting was going on called the Harlem Renaissance. And the Harlem Renaissance was a time when African-American communities were coming together in Harlem, all over Harlem. There were amazing artists coming together and inspiring each other and supporting each other. And we were all making art that inspired a lot of African-American art traditions, like the early stages of rock and roll and rap music, both originated in Harlem in some way, which I think is amazing. And so did Romer Bearton. He traveled there and decided that was the place he wanted to live and make his art. And he made mixed media art that included collage and drawing together to create amazing works of art with lots of bright colors and layers that really capture the energy of a busy, exciting city that is inspiring and fun. And we're going to get inspired by that by creating our own cityscape. So, for this project, you can choose if you want to use your drawing supplies to create a cityscape. That would be like your markers, your crayons, and your pencils and watercolor pencils. Or you can go the collage, and create using scissors and glue sticks and either colorful construction paper, or maybe you got something good in the recycling bin. So, we're all making cityscapes together, but you can pick and choose your own way if you want to make a drawing or a collage. Let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to start with drawing today. And I'm going to start with a pencil so I can erase. Now, the important thing to remember about cityscapes is that they're a type of landscape. So landscape means that we are holding our paper not the tall, skinny way, but the wide way. That way you can fit lots and lots of buildings in the drawing or collage. And I like to start with a horizon line. That's where the sky meets the ground. And I decided to do hilly. You can do flat or wavy or mountainous. And remember, cityscapes mean buildings. Buildings, you can oftentimes, a good starting point for a cityscape is rectangles. Like, these are just scrap papers, but you can see they already look like they're coming together. Now, one tool in our art kits is a ruler. You can use it to measure things, and that's very nice, but you can also use it to help you have a straight line. So you have your holding hand, holding it down, and then you have your drawing hand doing straight up and down lines. Boom. Boom. And I'm using my pencil, so I can just erase. So we got one building. That's a long, skinny rectangle. And then, but this building's not finished yet. We gotta add door and some windows. This is the starting point, but you can get way more detailed and interesting than this. This is a pretty basic building. For example, you can add a triangle top and use your shape skills. You can also go even crazier. I'm gonna go even crazier, kind of like Romare Bearton's drawings, and add something like a billboard. And you've got to think about who lives in this city and what they want, what this city is all about, where it is. Are there pine trees or palm trees? Or maybe, I don't know, a cactus. That would mean that it's in the southwest somewhere. So you got to think of that, where the city is, what kind of colors. Is this a shiny new city, or is it a little old, like New York and Boston are older cities? So you got to add that element. And once you're done with your once you have the basic shapes of your buildings, then you can add really fun details that give it personality. Windows, signs, doors. In one of my examples, I created a building that was Candyland inspired. This is called the Sweet City, and it has a donut shop with a giant donut. Okay, so if you want to take your colored pencils to the next level, here are two strategies that you can use. The first one is layering. Let me show you what that looks like. See, I'm doing a little bit of pink. Now I'm going to layer a little bit of blue on top of the pink. And this works amazingly with colored pencils especially. And watercolors too. Okay, so we have some layering. That's technique number one. Technique number two is value, lights and darks. And the way you create lights and darks with our watercolor pencils, like you can see, I did it on the roof right here and over here, is that you can also press very lightly with your colored pencil, or a crayon would do this too, or you can push more weight. Here's an example of what that one looks like. I'm using one color to do this light sky blue, and then I can push a little harder and really grind the color in and create little lines, kind of like in the middle of a road.
Now you finish the layering with the pink. So I think having a fun, colorful road would be kind of nice. You can do
some pushing hard, some heavy layering, and then some light coloring in. Then you can layer over top a fun color. Like I love putting yellow over top of green. I think they blend amazingly. Your art is to do mixed media is when you mix collage and drawing. See, I made this one with cutting out, scissors, glue, and paper in the middle, but I have this extra space here, so I'm creating a border using mixed media. I'm using a pencil to sketch out where I want my lines, and then I'm going over it with some purple and yellow markers to create a interesting framing element. Ta-da! Here are my two different interpretations of a cityscape, inspired by Romare Bearton's Cityscapes of Harlem. This one is called the Friendly City, and I tried to use my colored pencils to make dark and light shades of different colors, and I even tried layering them to create completely new colors. This one is upside down. This one is collage. No, wait, mixed media. And that is, I used scissors and glue and some recycling bin paper like this to create some buildings in a city, and it even has this cool like donut billboard. And then I found that I had this extra blank space, so I added mixed media to take it to the next level, and I added a triangle shaped border. Kind of reminds me not only of Romare Bearden, but of Faith Ringwald's Tar Beach in the way it has this lovely border of her quilt squares. So I would love to see what you come up with and what kind of city you create. Bye. Have fun making art.